Welcome back to another episode of Cape Ann Today. I am with Beth Pocock and Jen Holmgren, who are both going to talk about a very exciting speaker at the Sawyer Free Library this week. Who would like to introduce our speaker?
I'll go first, if that's okay, Jen. The speaker is Eric Klinenberg, who is the author of the book Palaces for the People, which was a huge bestseller maybe 2 years ago, has still continued to be a good seller. Eric is a sociologist. He teaches at NYU. He's also the head of the Institute of Public Knowledge there. And he has written a great deal about trying to solve the problem of the divisions within our country. People are dividing themselves along religious lines, along ethnic lines, along political lines. You know, it's becoming greater and greater. This is not an issue that everybody doesn't know about, but he's been trying to look into it as a sociologist, and he's come up with the idea that one of the most important ways to face this issue is through building social infrastructure. Social infrastructure for him is putting money and time into the spaces where people meet each other and where people cross-pollinate, where people spend time together, like parks, city parks, or museums, or libraries. And so he's going to come talk about ways that we can, ways to try and heal the divide between us. He's also going to talk about why libraries matter.
A timely issue because you are embarking on this huge capital campaign to expand the library, right? And renovate the library.
Right, but we promise this will not be he's not going to be asking for money. We're not going to be asking for money.
Right. But Jen, do you want to contribute to this?
Yes, well, I will say I love everything that Beth said. I completely agree. I'm excited that this celebrated speaker is coming to talk to us. And it is very timely in these trying times, and it seems like they're more trying. We really need a place with that provides us with a level playing field and a place where everybody of all stripes can come, be part of the community, take advantage of free, incredible resources. And Sawyer Free is absolutely at the forefront of that. And I do hope that Mr. Klinenberg can sort of drive the point home in a way that is sort of holistic and I mean, almost unconventional. I mean, certainly we've been talking for a very long time now about the need for a new modern library. And he's just got an incredible perspective that will really help us drive the point home.
So I was reading a little bit of the literature in advance, and it sounds as if this talk will really be focused on libraries and how libraries can change communities and create this feeling of connectivity, between our divided, ends of our cities and towns. Give me some examples. I don't know, I haven't read the book, so I don't know examples. Any concrete examples that he puts forth that you guys could share with us of how this can happen, the changes that can happen?
He's a great storyteller. Okay. So he tells a lot of stories in his book. And he starts the book with the story of the heat waves in Chicago. And there was one summer when they were extreme heat waves. And he said he did a lot of research because he's from Chicago. That's where he grew up. A lot of research into which neighborhoods were the most resilient and to which neighborhoods people died. What was the most, where did people struggle the most? Mm-hmm. And he said, Chicago is a sociologist's dream because the neighborhoods are so tightly organized, and you can go down one street and one neighborhood will be entirely different than the other neighborhood. And he said you could go down those streets and the neighborhood on the right would be organized, and people would have survived and people would have helped each other, and it would have been very resilient place. And on the other side, people would be dying and be the same demographic. And he said, it was because of the public spaces, because of the social infrastructure, because there were places where people could get together, people knew each other, people had a strong commitment to each other and to the community. And on the other side of the road, it was much more independent living, much more people didn't know each other.
Isolated, yeah.
Yeah. And he tells lots of stories about that, particularly after disasters.
Mm.
And I think that's particularly poignant with what, Gloucester's going to be facing some tough times, probably with ocean rise and some kinds of things. And so you don't think about social infrastructure being a way to prepare for the future, but he makes the point that it really is.
Mm.
I'll just say one more quick thing and then I'll let Jen talk, but he was asked by Obama to be on the committee that planned the rebuild by design, the committee that after Sandy, after Hurricane Sandy, they wanted to have engineering systems put in designs for rebuilding all along the coast, but they didn't want to just do engineering systems. They didn't just want to build walls. They believed what he was saying, and they put him in charge of the competition because he made the point, we can't just build engineering, we have to build social infrastructure as well. So they did. So they didn't just build walls, they built bermed walls with infrastructure on the top, commercial infrastructure and parks and places to meet. And it's an idea that's really been understood to the core of government, that this is important. I'll quit.
I lived in Chicago that summer, I think he's talking about. And I lived
Oh,
in one of his neighborhoods. It was probably 1994.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A resilient one or a non-resilient?
It was resilient, and the nature of the neighborhood. I mean, I'm kind of interested because I thought you were going to say it was because of the libraries, that people were able to survive that summer. And I did go to the library, and it was air conditioned, but yeah, we did fine. And it was kind of odd to hear about those neighborhoods where I'd be like with my husband, people are dying. This is really bad. I mean, turn the fan up, so anyway, but I also want to add that in that social infrastructure, I'm a great believer in benches, public benches, and that can change a space so literally. I'm sure Mr. Klinenberg talks about that. So Jen, I'm sorry to jump in on your end of the conversation.
Oh, of course. No, building on all of that. I mean, and I love it too, the benches in front of the library. I mean, I work downtown. I see people using them every single day, hanging out, catching up with friends, waiting to go in to meetings at City Hall, all kinds of stuff. So in addition to physical infrastructure, which Gloucester is working so hard on building, the visible things, what we really need is emotional and mental resilience, intellectual resilience, and the library can bring us that. And I'm very happy that Eric Klinenberg recognizes that and can bring it to us in this way. I can't wait to hear him speak. I really can't, especially, I mean, I hate to keep saying this because I know it's been said so much, but it's so important. We're still going through the COVID pandemic. We've been going through it for the past 2 years. We've seen the effects in every single facet of life, in every age group. To me, libraries have always been sanctuaries from reality, but also places where you can explore reality and come to terms with it in your own way in a very peaceful and almost controlled environment. A library is a place where you can get out of the heat, hopefully, it provided that the HVAC system that we build is new and it won't break down on 88-degree days. Places where you can, Beth, I see that you're sitting upstairs. That spot is where I used to hang around with my friends when I was a teenager and just be able to sit and study, goof off, hopefully not too loudly, and be in a place where the librarians could tolerate me and my friends, and we could be safe.
Yeah, it's a great place. Yeah. So when is Mr. You want to give us all the where and the when of Mr. Klinenberg's talk?
It's Thursday night, this Thursday, 6 to 7:30. Yes, he will be speaking, and then there'll be a conversation, question and answers. He likes that. And then at the end, there will be a reception out in the amphitheater with moon pies, mini moon pies from KK. I know,
Nice.
very fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
for the moon pies at least. But I've heard him speak a couple times. He's very inspirational.
Yeah.
And it's not just, as I said, he's a good storyteller. He has a very good general view on how we can attack some of these issues that sometimes we want to just throw up our hands. What are we going to do? And he has some good answers. So I think people will want to hear him.
Great.
6 o'clock Thursday at the library.
And open
But
to
you
the
need to
public.
register. You do need to register.
Oh, okay. And where will people register?
Online on our website, sawyerfreelibrary.org.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for introducing Mr. Klinenberg to us. And I hope I can get there. It does sound really interesting.
Good.
Yeah.
We hope you can too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.